Hello, New Jersey's finest. I'm Carol Schuler here in Jupiter, Florida with my father, Lieutenant Walter Schuler, who, as far as we know, is the oldest living retired New Jersey State Police officer. We're going to reminisce on the occasion of your 90th anniversary about what it was like in the force in the old days.
Well, thank you, Carol. It's such a pleasure to see you, and hello, everybody. And it's great living down here in Florida.
You were born in 1915, and when you joined the force in 1942, you were 27. So what were you doing prior to that, and what got you interested in joining the New Jersey State Police?
Well, at that particular time in the late 1941, I was employed by the New Jersey State Park Service stationed in Voorhees State Park in Highbridge, New Jersey. And the latter part of summer in 1941, one of the requirements was to take a senior life-saving course. The instructor made arrangements to have the last session in the state police headquarters in the inside pool at West Trenton. So we took the final exam in the state police pool, and the sergeant in charge of the grounds at that time asked if we'd like to take a look around, and we agreed that it would be nice. And he showed us some of the headquarters, and I became quite interested in the state police after he showed us around. He said, well, why don't you sign an application and see if you would like to join us? So I said we would, and that's how I got started with the state police.
Was the training tough?
The training was very rigid, but we persevered. There was a lot of physical exercise and a lot of classes we had to attend to gain entrance into the organization that had such a wonderful reputation, and I just couldn't wait to get in.
So how many people were in your class, and what was the percentage who passed?
Well, we had the 30th class. We had probably 45 to 50 people applying, and I would say probably 40% graduated and became New Jersey finest, the troopers.
And so where were you assigned in the beginning?
Well, the first month of 1942, I was stationed in Morristown headquarters, Troop B headquarters, for the orientation program for 30 days. And from there, I was transferred up to Sussex Station in Sussex County.
And then you moved to Blairstown after that, and that's where I came.
That is correct.
Into life in 1946.
I was transferred to Blairstown, and was a junior man there for quite a number of years, so I had a lot of experience with a motorcycle.
And what were the barracks like?
Well, we stayed in private homes. Our barracks was in a private home.
Private homes.
And we had no shift work. We worked 24 hours a day. And we had, I think it was 4 or 5 day passes a year and about 10 or 11 night passes. The rest of the time we were on full duty.
And you mentioned you were on a motorcycle for, what was that, 8 or 9 years?
That
until
is
they
correct.
were outlawed and discontinued? So Blairstown was a very quiet town. I remember growing up there. What were some of the typical cases that you worked on?
Well, we had everything in the books and investigations. We had troopers that were shot and killed. We had a lot of break-ins and larcenies. We had some serious investigations, and we were not satisfied until we completed the investigation with an arrest. And we had an excellent record.
So give us an example of a typical case that you might have gotten.
Well, a typical case, we had a corporal in charge of Blairstown Station. It was only a 5-man station, and there was 3 of us working this particular day. And after we had our lunch, we generally sat down on a bunk and played a little cards, they called it. And the corporal, he liked to get a few points more when we quit. But while we were playing, the phone rang, and the corporal answered the phone, and a woman called up all excited and said, somebody has to come up here and protect my chickens. My chickens are getting run over and I can't stand it. And out in the road and they're speeding by. And I want somebody up here right away. He said, all right, we'll take care of it, ma'am. And he said, well, it's nothing too important. Let's go around one more hand. So about 10 minutes later, a woman called up all excited, said, if somebody doesn't come up here and take care of my complaint, I'm going to call headquarters. So he said, you better get going. Saddle up and get going. So my senior trooper, he got behind the wheel and he didn't quite know where the location was. It was about a dirt road up the mountain. And I said, I used to go up there on a motorcycle occasionally. So I showed him where to go, and he's going quite fast up this dirt road and comes around a bend, there's a flock of chickens in the road. He was going too fast to stop, right through the flock of chickens. I looked back and the feathers were flying. He said, oh my God, he said, I hope that wasn't the place. I said, well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised because this is a dead-end road up to the mountain. We have to come back the same way. Oh my gosh, he said, what am I going to do? I said, well, you have to face the music, Ken. So we came down there, there's a woman standing in the road holding up a couple of chickens by the legs, and he parks the car, rushes over there, gets his wallet out of the car, he says, how much are those chickens, ma'am? The woman was so surprised she started laughing. And as a result, he made a good friend, and everything was cleared. And that was really a comical story. I thought maybe the people
life in the
like
country.
Right.
How did you feel about the pay? Was it comparable to other jobs?
Well, it was a bit more than I was getting in the Park Service. I was getting $90 a month, and the state police, when I joined it, was paying $100 a month. And of course,
so that was $1,200 a year. Times have changed.
$1,200 a year. That's
wow.
correct. But we stayed in the barracks, so we ate lunch there. So it was a going rate about in 1940.
And it sure is nice to have a pension.
Well, we had a good pension system, a good health program, and everything worked out for the best as far as I'm concerned. We had a wonderful bunch of people we worked with.
So what would you say you enjoyed most about the police?
Well, the camaraderie that we had with the people we worked with, they were a great group of people. You could trust them that they should...
well, they literally had your life in their hands, so you trust each other.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. We protected each other, and we did our work, and we did good work, and we had a nice relationship with the officials.
So when you were working, you didn't even have fax machines. What forms of technology today would have been helpful in doing your job then?
Well,
like
certainly the computer systems would have been a great help.
And the
but we
phone.
didn't even have handcuffs. But what we had was a 6-inch 38 special Colt. That's all we carried, and no handcuffs until one of our sergeants got murdered, and then we got handcuffs.
Well, do you have any advice for the officers working today from your experience
well, I say,
so long ago?
If that's your kind of work that you like to do a good job, be honest, and treat the people they like to be treated, and give the ones that deserve the rest the kick that they need.
Sounds like good advice. Okay, we're going to sign off. I'm Carol Schuler, the proud daughter of Lieutenant Walter Schuler, badge number 796. He's got his little pin on.
That's correct.
And thank you for your service. Happy anniversary.
And happy anniversary, and God bless every one of you. And it's great down here in Jupiter, Florida. We came down, it was a little fishing village, and it's grown up to be one of the best spots in Florida.